So here we can see some examples of some of the artifacts that they found. So artifacts are physical ruins, physical pieces of information that have been left behind. So when they would have done a dig and they would have excavated the temples and excavated the land, these would have been things that they would have found either in the temples or they could have been found in the ground and buried. Now we looked at some of these last week. So here we've got the funeral mask. This was the funeral mask of a king. Ideally we would have had a go at making some of these ourselves, but you can see how they cover the face. They're very detailed and they're very bright in their colouring. And also you can see the jewellery that was made for burial as well. So that in itself suggests that there was an element of wealth to the king, hence why he had such a glamorous funeral mask. Here on the other side, we've also got a picture of the Mayan flute. Now, you know from year 5 and year 4 that you've been playing the flute. Now, you can see how many elements of the flute are actually quite similar in terms of the shape, in terms of the cylinder, the airflow that can fit between, and also the holes, which when covered and air is pushed through the flute, obviously creates the different notes. So here we know that we get an idea of the civilization in that they enjoyed music and that they understood music and the concept of performance, they understood notes, they know how to make musical instruments. Now, this is something we looked at last week as well. So this is another type of artifact where we learned more about the Mayan civilization based on their capabilities. Now, we know from last week's lesson that they were very good at mapping stars. They created their own calendar, created their own mathematics, they created their own language, as well as creating their own Mayan calendar. Now, here's an example of their writing system. So this is something, through the excavation from the archaeologists, we were able to identify that they actually wrote their own writing and they had their own language. Now, this system used hieroglyphs. So this is where they use pictures to represent different letters and words, very similar to the Egyptians. Now, this is used to represent different words and different sounds. Now, people called epigraphers actually studied the hieroglyphs until they understood what they meant. So they'd have to start identifying different patterns to be able to identify what they might have meant. Now, this Mayan writing was all over the walls. It was always written on stone, but it was also written on various other artifacts. And all of that information has helped us discover more about the Maya. Now, here you can see the stone slab called the stele. Okay, and we know this was used for the Mayan writing. Now, this would have been all plastered all over the temple walls. This would have been on pyramids, would have been on artifacts, stone sculptures, would have been everywhere. And this was a vital piece of evidence. So this is a primary source here because this is physical evidence from the Mayan civilization times that's helped us understand more about their civilization. Now, what you are going to have a do for your task today is you're going to choose one of the pictures that's been sent home to you. Now, I think I have sent home possibly 4 or 5 different photos. I only want you to have a go at picking one. Now, there is a sheet that has also been sent home. However, there are 2 different sheets. One which has a star in the left-hand corner is the easier one. The sheet that has the 3 stars on the corner of the sheet is slightly harder. Now, it's only slightly harder because you're required to do a little bit more for it, but I would like those of you that know you're supposed to be challenged in your lessons to have a go, please, at doing that last one. Okay, I don't want you to have a go at the easy one. I want to push you a little bit more. Those of you that think that you are capable and that you could do with the extra challenge, then by all means, please have a go at the second worksheet. But I will give you the choice of picking between the first and the second one. But have a go at looking at the pictures. Think about the questions that are on your activity sheet. Make sure you answer in as much detail as you can. Some of these pictures might have cropped up in our PowerPoint. I certainly know that the stone god statue here was one of our slides on our PowerPoint. So you can go back and have a look at it. You may want to do some additional research on Google. That's going to help you as well. Remember, if you do any research, make sure you put year 5 or key stage 2 or primary on the end of your search so that it shows you child-friendly websites to help you. But have a go answering those questions. Pick one of those pictures to be able to answer the questions on. And then have a go at very, very carefully drawing your own version of the picture. Now, I know year 5 from the art that you have completed this term in every lesson that I've got some proper good artists out there. Dare I say, some of you put me to shame when I've drawn some of my pictures. So if you have the opportunity, I'd like to have a go at drawing an example of one of your pictures. And then I look forward to having a look at that work when that work comes into me on Friday. And I will be able to post some of that work up on Twitter. Okay, so if you're stuck or confused, rewind the video. Okay, but have a go at the worksheets, pick one of the pictures, and then have a go at drawing it yourself. And I look forward to seeing all of your glorious work on Friday. Okay, good luck, year 5.